good afternoon, good morning, wherever the hell you are, guys. Good morning for me, hence the haircut or the hairdo. But anyway, welcome to today's live SEO Q&A sponsored by Mr. Randy Rodet, 38 Digital Market. If you're interested in press releases, check them out. The link is below. But yeah, we are here to answer your questions. So if you've got any questions, put them in the live chat. We will go through as many of them as we humanly can. If you're just earywigging, just let us know you're there. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know where you're from, whatever it might be. Randy is here just to listen to his introduction. But
make sure
that is Randy there, as you can see, which I'm sure most of you already know Randy anyway. But hey, check out the press releases. Mateus, who's the best FIFA player in the world? Me.
Are you?
I went to Poland, Chris, so I had all these Polish dudes, including Mateus, giving it all this. They can beat either this and that and fucking this. I went over and fucking took the trophy back to Scotland with me. Still got it to this day. But Mateus, I've got one thing for you. I am coming back to the last SEO Rages in August. I spoke to Robert last night. I'm coming back. I'm going to bring that trophy. So get practicing, dude. Because I want you Polish guys to take it back if you can. I just don't know if they've got it, Chris. That's the thing. I just don't know if they've got the skills to beat
They
me.
probably don't. I mean, even the fact that you're questioning it tells me that they don't. So, it is what it is.
But good to see you, Mateus. Tommy Finnan is here as well.
Tommy.
A quick one. I've got something to ask you. You've flown internally in America, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How long before a flight should I check in? Is it still 2 hours here or longer? How long?
They say that. I don't. An hour. I don't ever do 2 hours. Like then you're sitting around doing nothing. Nah. Usually an hour. 2 hours.
Sometimes in the UK, dude, because I don't know why, but sometimes the passport control and shit just gets a little bit busy, and sometimes you can miss your flight. So
you can see that.
That's
2 hours is because you're always sitting around. Like I think an hour. Make sure you're early. Yeah.
Cool.
Depends on the airport. That's very true too. I will give you that, Darren. Yeah, depending on which airport. I flew in Austin. I flew out of there before.
So I'm in there. My flight's at like 10 a.m. tomorrow. So anyone get any answers specifically in Austin? Just I know it's a niche question, but hey, but let me know. And Ahmed, I am very good. But we have a question. The first question of the day, Chris, is a few words about Harrow. If you did it, what is the best practice to win Harrow links? Do you fuck around with Harrow? You pay someone, right?
I pay some. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think if you can afford if you can create and do enough pitches to make it worthwhile, then, I have an inexpensive writer on hand in order to do the pitches for you. I think responding quickly is probably very important, but I wouldn't say I'm the expert. But I know responding quickly and doing as many pitches as possible for stuff that makes sense. I know that that's two things that you definitely need to make sure of.
The speed has got to be, but how many people have Harrow and how many people are pitching that journalist? As soon as they say, I need an article about digital marketing and the benefits of it or something, how many fucking pitches is that poor journalist getting? So I think the speed for me would be of the essence.
And they have their favorites.
Potentially have articles sitting around ready to go.
I think that's good luck. Good luck, brother. Yeah.
It's better just to pay someone, in my opinion, that has that process ironed out better than me, because they know the kind of terminology and wording to use to these journalists as well. So I think that's all key in the process. So
yep,
how it's laid out. One other thing I would say they can is journalists want this shit laid out so they literally don't have to do shit with it other than copy and paste it. So that part's important as well. You need to understand and simplify and you know, so Randy Rodet, right? He done a press release on our sponsorship thing the other day, and he sent it over for my approval. Craig, can you just check this out? You know, make sure you're okay with it. Now, what I would say about press releases is it's not long-winded. It's short, sharp, concise. There's no waffle. There's no sales pitch. There's no bullshit in there. And I think that all has to be taken out as well. So when you know, you read a press release, and I've used Randy, you know, many times, and there's just a certain layout, and he knows how to lay that out for the journalist, along with the contact details and all that shit at the bottom of it. So that part's important. Make it easy for the journalist.
Very.
Ahmed Zubir, I am very well, thank you. How are you? Shalaba, please guide me in how I can get digital marketing project to offer the services. So we get these questions all the time. We do want specific questions relating to SEO, but Chris, for this, someone new to the industry that wants to do services, we've all been there. How the fuck do we get clients? How do we offer services to the clients? You've been there not so long ago, you know, at the start of your well, I know you've done SEO for a while, but, you know, I think in the last few years you've grown massively. But how do you get more and more opportunity? Well, I know your answer. You fucking put yourself about YouTube and demonstrate yourself as an expert.
Yeah,
This is way. But how else would you advise people to pick up work?
Before making videos at least 3 days a week for 6 years, what did I do? Like that, people ask me that all the time. Oh man, how'd you get on? I woke up every day and made videos for the last 6 years. That's how I got on. But before that, dude, I was doing Fiverr. I was on Blackout World. I was in the Warrior forums. I tried the Facebook thing. That didn't hit for me. What really hit for me was having multiple accounts on Fiverr. I had 2 accounts inside of Upwork. The Fiverr, the trick was have low services, and I was buying them myself to get the reviews up because I noticed the review system. If I got reviews on an SRT thing that I was selling for $5 a pop, I could go in there and give myself 100 reviews quick. And then I had this thing on the computer that would always keep me on, so it would always show online. So I was always online, plus I had a bunch of reviews, and I had multiple accounts, and I was able to catch sales. I was always online, and I had tons of reviews because they just see the reviews. Like that's how it used to work. I don't know how it works now. So Fiverr was really big, and that was the entry point to business owners. And then that would lead to sales. And then I was getting recurrings, and then there was like referrals. Blackout World has always been big. Dude, you'd have 3 accounts inside Blackout World, and you'll get the bottoms. Like I was going around buying as many bottoms as possible, like the signatures. So I'll buy signatures on people that I knew were talking a lot. And I had multiple profiles where I was going in there and just answering everybody for everything. So my name would be showing up. I'd get custies off of that. And then like the Facebook keeps showing up, but that's like a pain. I tried paying somebody to do that, like always responding like that. That had a trickle of business, but it didn't really pop for me. LinkedIn wasn't jumping when I was doing that, so I wouldn't really play with that. I know that could be a good one, but it's just time in, and you catch some clients. I also, what was really good was, I was running at that time, I was running newspaper ads. Like I was running quarter sheet newspaper ads for web design and web services. I used to do that. I used to run them in the cities like Allentown and Reading. I was doing them in Pittsburgh. I was buying quarter sheet ads in the Sunday paper. That's how I was getting customers, man. I don't know. Then I was like, man, this YouTube thing might be something. If you could dedicate the years to doing it. Yeah, but there's no easy path unless you have money already. If you got a bunch of money right now, then you might be able to go. But if you had a bunch of money to run the ads and get in front of people, it's either pay or spend time. It's either going to cost you money or cost you time. Same thing. That's my best advice, sir. Sorry to take so long.
That was a lot of different stuff. So hopefully, Shalab, that gives you an insight into what's involved. And like Chris says, no easy way to just go, yeah, I'm now offering these services.
Yeah, I'm offering services. Yeah, get in line. Yeah.
6 years of videos every day. I've done this every week for 3 years. And stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's a hard grind, but it pays off in the end. So I'm not even going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Chris has had his best week ever, so it's finally paying off after all that. So Chris finally is making money. So yeah, it's a hard slog, and people who put that in you get what you put in is the point I'm trying to make. So we laugh at Chris doing videos in the middle of the night, and relentless amounts of videos. So it's a good way, good inspiration for you. But on to other stuff. The issue I face is my niche doesn't get that much opportunity as others. It is what it is. You cannot create opportunity on Harrow. If a journalist doesn't like your niche, doesn't request your niche very often, then it is what it is. You're going to have to look at a different link building strategy. And there is certain niches that don't get talked a lot about on there, SEO being one of them. We don't need. I had a friend, we found a Harrow person, and the person was doing Harrow for X amount of money per link. And my friend went in and said, right, I want 50 a month. And she's like, dude, in your niche, that's fucking impossible. There just isn't that many requests for information in your niche. End the story. I reckon you'll be able to get 2 or 3 a month. And the guy's like, no. And then you come back, oh, this fucking bitch doesn't fucking want to work. I'm like, dude, your fucking niche doesn't have the demand. End the story. Just, you have to, that's it. Get on with it. So he had to look at alternative ways of doing it. So, yeah, it is what it is. But the can also has another question. Please clarify some tips to improve website EEATs and doubting what would be the best to get there. Amazon Book, Crunchbase, LinkedIn. Go to calicube.pro and they will give you the trusted sources that you need to be listed on in order to trigger EEAT. Chris, you've done a book before, Amazon, author, all that kind of stuff. Any other little places? You've got Crunchbase, LinkedIn, all these kind of trusted sources, Wikidata, shit like that. But any other ones you can think of off the top of your head?
Wikipedia, taking care of the book, getting listed on Google. You're just trying to assert authoritativeness and your expertise. That's why you want to get listed on those. But no, I think that particular information is well documented out there. I think that's the good solution. The Calicube does a good list there.
Yeah.
Go for that. Why not?
I
think there's more than that, though. And then add in the schema.
There's tons. Yeah.
You could go on.
That could be a whole conversation in itself. So, but if you go to Calicube and you want to do that, they can. Jason's got plenty of videos on there that goes deeper into shit. You can talk about IMDb and all the other crap that I've done as well. It's a rabbit hole where it's endless. But next question: prize zoo competitions. I started a competition website, Facebook Live Draw. I'm looking to add a WordPress affiliate plugin. What advice you could give me on how I find affiliate marketers and maybe which plugin. I don't know of any plugins for that specific, but maybe Chris might have an answer for any plugin.
I started a competition website, Live Draw. I'm looking to add a WordPress, to give away or something?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Something to give away?
Yeah.
I mean, I would venture to guess. I mean, there's a plethora on that Envato. Like, those guys look hungry. I don't think it would take too many reach outs in order to get someone to potentially work with you. I really don't. So if you go looking, that's where I would probably look. Those guys seem the most active. They have the reviews. It's live. You can see if they're doing it. Are they updating the product? Is there reviews? And they're there. And they'll have multiple products. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Go look in there. But I never did that. Yeah.
Honey, does number of links important or number of referring domains for a local website? Links, the number of links or number of referring domains?
I primarily focus on number of referring domains. I'm looking for referring domains, referring IPs. That's what I'm looking at. The number of backlinks, not so much. I think I'm generally looking at referring domains pretty much for the most part. Clients always look at the backlinks. They're like, oh, I got these backlinks. And then I look and I'm like, yeah, but you only have 2,000 referring domains. And this guy's got 7,000.
So a guy called Ted Kubitis, who many of you might already know, Cora SEO, done a presentation 6 months ago at Mastermind Mansion, and he's all about referring domains. He thinks there's a big play in that. That is, and the reason that I'm highlighting Ted is because of as the owner of Cora and looking at large data sets, he sees that as a common thing across, I don't know the figure of websites that he analyzes, but if anyone knows who Ted is, they know he's like the Rain Man. It's not 5 websites he's basing that on. It's probably 500,000. Yeah, so
the whole enchilada.
And he is a big believer in referring domains, and I think it just looks more natural. You want votes from more different websites rather than one link that that's on the footer of a website and it gives you 2 million links. It just doesn't make sense for that the volume of links to be a serious factor. It would have to be referring domains based on common sense and the data and everything else that you see. So number of referring domains for me, whether it's local, whether it's national, I think it's an important thing. So that would be my take on it. Tommy, help local businesses with free tips and SEO audit example. Showcase what to do rather than to build the business. And if they can afford, they will probably give you the opportunity. It's a great point that Tommy makes. Most business owners don't want to do it themselves. They don't have the time to do all this fucking bullshit themselves. They want someone, but they don't want some jackass. So demonstrating, showcasing stuff, offering value up front, free tips to demonstrate your knowledge and expertise like we're doing now is a sure way to go and to do that. So good advice, Tommy. Shashi, can you talk about using Zeno posters for CTR manipulation? Any resources and guides you can recommend for Zeno poster? Do you use Zeno poster yourself, Chris?
I only messed around with it. That's more of a Holly tool. It's not really, not for me. Hey,
dude, I've got a question. So, Shachi, I'm not a Zeno poster user either. That's a Holly thing, as Chris says. CTR, you can use, Facebook ads, push notifications, email lists, your own social media following, micro workers, CTR booster, agency assassin, there's a whole bunch of shit there you could use as well. So that's a couple of things you could potentially use. I know you use Awesome, Chris, as well. Sure. So there's another one. So there's 5 or 6 different tools potentially you could use for that. And guides. I've got a few. I'm sure Chris has got a few on CTR manipulation. We even had a little fight one time. I think there's a video
That was fun.
As well with me, Holly, Chris, and I think Jonesy was involved, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of stuff on our respective YouTube channels there. But what I was going to say, Chris, talking about Holly, did she send you a message yesterday?
Not that I know of. It looks like no, she did not.
Well, here's what she's playing with now, which is quite funny.
Oh, she cloned me. Yes, she did.
Yeah, she cloned you with that fucking dude. It sounds nothing like you or me. So what Holly's doing is using AI voices to create podcasts. Nice. She's fucking around with something. She's like, Craig, this sounds so like you, dude. It does not fucking sound like me at all. But yeah, she's fucking around, and she's got your voice on there as well. But she was sending me some funny clips of your voice and what you were saying. It's quite funny.
I just heard it. She said, "Oh, gee, I have hemorrhoids, Holly." It sounded pretty close to me. It sounded pretty close. She's funny. Oh, that's fun. So now I could do.
So she'd done it, and then she's like, "Are you cool with this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do what you fucking like." But yeah, apologies, Holly, if I've given away any kind of secret there. But yeah, it was funny. But yeah, I don't know what exactly she's doing, but yeah, some fake ass podcast that she's probably going to rank. So the fake us is likely to outrank the real us, Chris.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna start seeing. Well, now we can do podcasts with whoever we want.
Yeah, you can't get that bastard on. Just fucking clone him.
I have some questions for Zuck.
Yeah. Darren Muzzy says, "Congrats, Chris. Love all the videos, all 6 years of them." I know Darren's a big lover of videos from Mr. Palmer. Chat Chippy T, have you guys used AI prompts to create an actual website? You done that, Chris?
The actual website, not the content inside of a website. Yes, the actual. But
can you create a website?
You could, yes, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. I've not tried it, so I can't say I've created an actual website. But I know people that have made certain scripts and stuff using it, and yeah, it's funky, man, funky. But I've not actually physically seen a ChatGPT site. I need to see if someone's actually churned one out, so I can see what it looks like. Yeah, be interesting. The Can. What I'm planning to get stronger my EEET is to include one well-known and pro personality to my site as an author after taking my permission. What do you think? Is it worth it? So let's say you're an SEO guy. Would it be worth having Chris Palmer as an author on your website? Is that likely to help you?
So that's interesting. You know, we were doing I don't want to say it was a cold therapy tool, okay? And the cold therapy thing, there's like this big guy, his name's like Bear, right? And he like stands outside and he's like a big believer. Well, we started utilizing his name as the author, made an author profile associated, did the schema, made a whole bio about him, right? And made him the author. And, you know, wouldn't you know that we're right underneath the main manufacturer? Bragg is the main manufacturer. We're right underneath for a lot of the terms that we're targeting. Because there's a lot of different products. There's like, you know, there's the main little pieces. But so is that the only thing that did it? Hard to say. But we did have a lot of success after implementing that. But this was also when we started taking a run at the content, like really going after content, top level pages and supporting content, and spent a couple thousand on some very high quality links. He wanted the best he could get. So, but he's doing very, very well. Yeah. That's the only experience I've ever had with that. So if you could do it quick and easy and fast, would I do it? Yeah, definitely. Sure. If you can do it, why not? But be careful who you pick.
Yeah.
Mentioning their name and stuff all the time. Like, be mindful. People are watching when you think they're not. So be mindful of what you're doing.
Robert Thomas, good to see you here, mate. Hope you're well. Nerdy. In fact, guys, keep asking questions. We are nearly out of questions. We still have 35 minutes. So anything you've got to ask it. Make it as specific as you can, though, not how do you make money online. Those questions. But Nerdy had a question. I nearly missed it, Nerdy. What is the biggest challenge on planning your first conference? So, Chris, the conference that Nerdy is referring to is affiliateunfiltered.com. Now, you can go and buy tickets. It's in August the 22nd to the 24th, Caesars Palace, Las Vegas. By the way, Chris, while I was here, I was with Ian Ovens, who said yes. Yep. Brian Cato has said yes. Steve Toth has said yes. But anyway, I just asked a whole bunch of people because Holly can't come and shit like that. So I've spoke to those three and got yeses confirmed. But anyway, that's just some of the names, guys, that are going to be on the website. If you go to the website right now, I believe you'll only see me and Chris there. But the plan is to have between 8 and 10 top-level speakers. Then we're going to have a bunch of workshops from some cool people in the industry. 2-day conference in Vegas. But what are the biggest problems or the biggest challenges when you're creating a conference, Chris, in your opinion? Speakers?
I think that's because you'll get I think getting a solid speakers is very, very can be challenging. Also too, I think the challenges are unforeseen for me. Like, you never know what I don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So that's hard to say. I'll let you know at the end.
Nerdy, for me, this is not my first rodeo. I've done a few or been involved in a few conferences, and like I said, you don't know what you don't know. You take the feedback from the conference and then make it better for the next one. Certain people will moan about location. People will moan about food. People will moan about lack of speakers, too many speakers, not enough networking time, all of this shit, shitty beds in the hotel, all of these things, have to be taken into consideration. And one event we had a couple of years ago, it was SEO Underground, and it was in a place called Newmarket in UK, and it was a real bitch to get to. It was out in the middle of nowhere, so location was a problem. So what we'd taken from that to the next SEO Underground, what we'd done was made it right next to an airport, like literally on the fucking runway at Stansted Airport in London. And again, you try and make that improvement, and people are like, but there's not enough nightlife there. And we're like, fuck. So you can never win. People are like, there's not enough nightclubs, there's not enough this, there's not enough restaurants around there. And we're like, but, we put it next to the airport. Like, what the fuck? So it's just getting that balancing act, and you're never going to make everyone happy. But it's just making those fine adjustments when you get that feedback. And people are entitled to their opinion. People are looking at different things. People are looking at networking. I didn't really get the chance to talk too much to these guys because there wasn't enough networking time, too many presentations. So hopefully we can, leverage the experience that we all have from speaking at conferences and try and make something that that ticks a lot more boxes, right, Chris?
I think so.
Because you know what you like when you go, and you know you might like getting a little bite to eat, a bar being there, and
1,000%. You want everything. That's why I think Vegas can't get any better. It's got it all. Like, you want to just sit, cool. You want to go to a show, great. But I don't know. When I go, it's like I don't care about that. I'm more interested in like what is going on at the conference. You know, maybe I'm not the norm. Maybe other people are like, oh man, it's like a day out. You know, I'm more thinking like, oh, what am I going to learn? Sometimes I'm let down. Sometimes I'm not. Yeah, big time.
But
what's your I think you mentioned this to me before, but what's your favorite conference so far that you've been to? You don't have to give up a year, but just which one is like, if you haven't been, maybe you should try this one out.
I really like Chiang Mai SEO, just because of the inspiring people you meet at that event. People are traveling from all over the world to get there. You find that you know the location alone filters out some of the trash. You know the you know maybe the talkers rather than the doers, and you know people that are hungry. So what I find is that because it's so far away, and people are traveling from America, Europe, all over to Thailand, you know, there's a certain filter within that eliminates certain people, and even people that are just desperate. You know, people are using their last pennies to get there to learn, and these are the people I want to be surrounded with. It's not about how much money someone earns; it's the enthusiasm and the you know all of that kind of stuff. And I think the you know, for me, Chiang Mai, the weather, the setup, the level of people there, overall, and it's not too big. You know, there's like I don't know 1,000 people there or something like that. It's still quite personalised. You know, some of the events you go to where there's 6,000 people or whatever, you don't really get to chat to many of the attendees. So from that perspective, I think Chiang Mai probably wins it. You know, I do enjoy, you know, I've enjoyed most of the events I've been to. You know, I've been to Poland. SEO Rages is up there, where it was like 30 or 40 guys all out in boats and shit, just proper chilling, masterminding, sharing shit, just pulling the laptops out. Thoroughly enjoyed that. So, but again, your ability to get to that, you know, there's only 40 seats, whereas Shanghai's got 1,000 seats. So going to the smaller masterminds runs out quite quickly. And you know, I'm at Mastermind Mansion just now, which again, I love the people, love the small, more personalised thing. You know, we can all go out after it and have food and chat some shit and get boozed up and all that. So there's a lot of good events. It really depends on what you're looking for. You know, at this Mastermind Mansion, I chose not to speak or present. I just wanted to chill out with people and talk, you know, have conversations rather than, you know, doing the whole presenting thing and, you know, just mingling and finding out who's doing what, who's got what tools I need. And, you know, there's a lot of slick guys there. So yeah, that's a couple. But to be honest, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been to a few events where you're like, fuck, this is not for me. But most events, to be fair, I can't really criticize too much, but I like the smaller ones, just more personalized approach. So there you go. But prize zoo competitions. So Chris, we've misunderstood the question. He wants to know how to find affiliate marketers to promote so that they do rev share, like the world of betting. Thought you might know how to find the marketers. So what people do to me, Prize Zoo, when I go to a conference, I am normally chased around by affiliate managers going, Craig, I want you to sign up. We'll give you X amount of percent. Huge, it's a huge fucking no. You know, at that point, you know, pestering me for it. Try and smooth it up a little bit. You know, I think a lot of people go after affiliate marketers and they just get bombarded with that much stuff to the point where they'll just fucking ignore it. So I think it's how you approach them. You know, I had someone approach me, buy me a drink at a bar in Prague, and tried to talk me around. She's like, you know, complimenting me and schmoozing me and all that kind of stuff. How do you get to affiliate marketers though? I just think you have to work a little bit harder, because any kind of people that do affiliate of any reasonable level are going to get offers every day. My inbox is flooded. Can you promote this? Can you promote that? Can you promote that? So you've just got to make it interesting and maybe make the approach a little more personal, in my opinion. Go to events, you know, try and schmooze them up a little bit, talk to them at that point, you know, because doing it through Facebook, doing it through LinkedIn, you know, Craig, I want to talk to you about something, you know, I've got some money you might be able to make here. Nah, I don't even want to engage in that conversation. But I don't, Chris, have you any ideas how they might be able to approach affiliate marketers? I mean, you probably get bombarded similar to me on a daily basis. People want you to promote shit and, you know, get your commission and all that stuff.
I was thinking about that same exact thing. Like, where do you, I honestly don't have the best answer other than reaching out to people that you already know that are doing it. I was thinking the same thing. Like, say I had, I'm going to have a service that isn't going to be attached to my name. How do I get people to assist me in selling it? Yes, I agree. How do you do that? You let me know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I know one of the things is I know that there's a few platforms like Munchai and stuff like this. I was even looking at like that ClickBank getting listed there. I mean, because I have no idea though. These are just guesses. I'm assuming I can make some type of special offer and have it listed there, have it listed maybe on a product hunt, maybe it listed on Munchai. There's also a section in Black Hat World. I figured, okay, I can list it there, have a marketplace there. Always hungry new people there that might have a list of 500 or 1,000 or something. I don't know. This is what I came up with already, other than the people I already know. Luckily, I know a lot of people, so I'm very, very lucky in that aspect. But I also wanted to get listed on those other places. But what I do know from doing affiliate marketing is I know the offer has to be attractive. It has to be worth it, especially if there's already a bunch of people already doing it. Like, what sets you apart? Like, what are you gonna give me? So, and then knowing this, what I want to see is what will you give me for just taking a shot with you? Give me some money? Will you give me a high percentage? Or what's the cookie policy? How long are you going to track it? What can I trust you? So these are things that I keep in mind when approaching that particular question. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking about. You know, like, can I give somebody something? Most of the people that are doing it and willing to do it, they're not hungry anymore. They're very willing. You know, so it's very difficult to get those people that have the big lists and have the stuff. They're already fed. So it's like, I got to find the other people. It's tough. So I don't know, man. I'm in the same boat. But you let me know if you want to sell proxies. All right. And then I'll be happy to give you 20%.
Robert, having trouble getting a few pages of a new site indexed. They are unique. How to force them through. New sites being the big keyword here. How new, Robert? But this force indexing, SynBite still your go-to?
Right. Well, right now, probably this last month, actually almost maybe the last 45 days, almost 60 days, it's been a little tough, right? It's been a little tricky. So I would just cool your jets right now. You're probably having a lot of trouble right now as we speak. But with that being said, SynBite is a viable opportunity. Like, Google gives you a lot of tools that can be utilized for indexing your own links. But if you're trying to index junk links, yeah, SynBite's a good opportunity. There's tons of them out there, speed links. But these are just calling the crawler. That doesn't mean Google's going to index them or show them in the search results. You can crawling the bot is very, very easy, or getting the bot to come is easy. getting Google to show it and keeping it showing, that's a whole nother ballgame. So yeah, SynBite, if you want to call them, yeah, SynBite works fine. But getting them to show is another story. That's all I have.
There are no problems, only growth opportunities. You're right, Nerdy. That's what we're always looking for.
That's true.
Pratik Gandhi, SEO synergy for content and PR. How to upscale this at the next level. What, you're trying to use words that people is going to confuse people. So what I would do before anything, Pratik, would be to try and simplify things. SEO for content and PR, that word synergy doesn't need to be there. How do you upscale SEO, content, and PR?
How do you get those to work together?
Yeah.
How do I get my content inside the PR to work together with SEO? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Synergy together. Well, I assume, or I hope, I would think that if you have the basics of SEO, crafting and creating your PR or the content inside of the PR, the press release, or just not just a press release, but any piece of content, you want to keep SEO in mind. With PR, there's a little bit of a trick because generally it has to be third person. It can't be salesy. But two, if you start putting in like keywords a lot of times, you'll get dinged. So using variations, and using a lot of LSI and entities along with those PRs in order to get them to get a push is very helpful. But how do you get them to work together? Doing proper SEO while you're creating your content inside of your PR. That's how you get them to work together. Hopefully that's an answer for you. Synergy together. I like that. It's a fun word.
It is a fun word. But yeah, I would try and simplify it because I think people look at that and be like, what the fuck is he talking about? So they should go hand in hand as far as I'm concerned. But should your Facebook business page description match the kind of copy you write in your Google business profile? In your opinion,
I say yes. Oftentimes, no. It is generally listed as a top citation. So if you're in the camp of keeping all your citations, NAPs the same, then yes. But if you want to have a slight variant because it's because you have personal and then you have business. Do I think your business page should be identical to your Google business profile or what your Yelp page or your MapQuest or Foursquare says? Yes. Yes, I do. Should be the same. It's a NAP. It's technically a citation in a way. I'd go for it. Keep it the same. Why not? Plus, it'll be easy for you. Easier.
Yeah. But next question, Vassal. Why are most of my links not showing up in Google Search Console?
Because Google doesn't show all the links. I think they stopped. Did they stop at a K? I forget. Or is it 10K? I forget exactly. Google Search Console is a great tool, but they're not going to show you every single link that you build. Just like SEMrush doesn't show every link that you build, and neither does Ahrefs. Ahrefs might show some more, or some SEMrush might show more. I don't know. But Google's not going to show them all. And plus, on top of it, Google's very interesting. How many times have you noticed this? Under the top link section, I think Google's showing the top links of not only your top best, but your top worst. Because how many times have you seen and you're looking at a link and you're like, wait, how's that a top link? You're like, I know that's crap. I really do think that when they say top, I think they're pointing out the top of all worlds. Like your top that you should get rid of and the top best. I really do. They're funny, man. Google's a funny character. But yeah, links not showing up. Not all links show up. That's all. I wouldn't be concerned. Keep building more. Don't be worrying about the last ones. Keep going.
Dean says, yes, SEO Underground at Stansted Airport didn't turn into an after party Very disappointing. Some of us are getting old as well, Dean. Were you there, Dean? I can't even Was Dean there?
I don't remember seeing that face, no. I would remember that guy right there because he reminds me of an MMA fighter. Like there's an MMA fighter, I forget the dude's name. He was out of Canada. Saint Pierre. He looks like Saint Pierre in that photo. To me, he does. I would have remembered that.
Eric is trying to rank a new hairstylist website. How much time should be spent on social posting, given the type of industry? Also, should I be directing social posts to the website for services?
So the last part of the question, should you be directing it? Of course, why not? How much time should you be investing? Well, I think that that's a traffic source. So if you have the time and the budget to allocate towards that traffic source, it could lead to a sale. So if I invest $100 per month in a social media manager that's going to go in there and post the images, grab the photos, write the copy for me, and do that every single day, if that generates one new customer for you, is it worth paying them the 100 or whatever you pay them? That's the question. Oftentimes the answer is yes. Of course it is. So that's yes. The answer is yes. Do it. What's next? What's the next one? Was there a second part to that I missed?
Nah. Sorry. Should I be directing social posts to the website for services?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Funnel people back to the website for your services. There's no point in posting pictures of nice haircuts and then not leading them back to
they're like, what?
The website. Well, that defeats the purpose. So,
yeah.
But I think, in that niche hairstylist, I think social media works very, very well. It's very visual. So,
makes sense.
Yeah. Vassal. I'm doing backlinks, internal links, blog posts for my e-commerce website. However, my DA is not increasing at all. It's been months. Are you doing the right? I mean, without us seeing what you're doing, we can't really comment. But the links, the backlinks, if they're from authoritative websites, you would expect to move up.
And did Moz see them? I mean, is Moz counting them? I don't. I think that could be a lot of things, but yeah, I think you're on the right track, Craig. Of course, are they? How many did you build? Did Moz actually see them? How's your internal linking on the website? Yes, and DA. I don't know how many people use DA still. That's an interesting metric as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, what's their? Do they even see those to give you credit yet? I don't know. Maybe.
All I know that if you build some citations and you do a bit of this and a bit of that, you expect to see your domain metrics going up, whether it's DA, DR, and stuff like that. So, but even building a bunch of citations, you expect to see something happen, some movement in a positive manner. So if you see nothing in a few months, I would be asking questions on the type of links you're actually building, and whether they have any power at all would be my first thing to look at. But hard to say exactly.
Yeah, citations. Yeah, those citations in Web 2s, though, those don't. Man, I don't see. Do you see a big jump from that? As far as like metrics are concerned.
But if you start with a brand new domain, you get citations. Would I expect it to jump up to a DR
2 or 3? Okay, 7.5.
I expect to see something.
A trickle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not up into a DR 40 or anything, but but for sure, I'd expect to see some form of movement, even with citations. So, if nothing's moving and it's been a few months, that's worrying. But anyway, use Brad Maybury as the author and watch it tank. What's the biggest knowledge bomb you learned at the mansion that you're allowed to share? The biggest knowledge bomb that I learned at the mansion that I'm allowed to share. Oh, I seen a fella called Garrett Ecott talking about how to torch a domain name using emails only. That was interesting. So that's all I'm going to say though. But yeah, that was interesting. But I don't want to give too much of people's stuff away. It's not fair to do that. But there was some decent knowledge there. I would certainly say that, and some decent tools. I know Andrew Ainsley has a decent tool. A guy called Corey Hubble has a good tool. So there's some interesting stuff going on there. But as I say, I don't want to offend anyone or release stuff or anything like that, because I know a lot of the stuff wasn't recorded. Well, it wasn't recorded. So just to be fair to the organisers, I don't want to sit and publicly share all this stuff because they'll probably not invite me back. But, honey, should I make every internal link unique or keep the internal link keyword rich and repetitive? No.
Wait, you don't use keywords in your internal links?
Not repetitive and spammy as fuck.
No. Okay, that's fair. But
that's going to be part. Yeah, I mean, you got to use keywords. You can't really avoid that. You know. But repetitive, no. But mix it up where you can.
Do you have maybe a guideline that you are you trying to get at least 2 internal links to the primary page from, say, a blog article that's going to be a keyword and a variation? Is there like a set hard rule, like hey, at least 2 primary, 1 variation going to the primary page from a blog article, or no? Just
no, it's just mix and match. There's no
hard and fast rule.
Stone. Nah. Again, for me, it just has to look natural, if you like, and you know, if you've got the same repetitive structure throughout every fucking page, you know, I think that's spammy.
So that's an interesting. So you've seen or have ran across internal linking. Say there's a hard and fast rule of primary keyword and variation. Let's use that as the example. Going from blog articles, going over if that's the structure throughout the site, that's not good internal linking. That's spammy.
I would say so. Yeah.
Really, that's interesting.
Yeah. That's just my own. That's my own.
Well, how would you do it then? What would be quote unquote natural?
You know, some pages would have 1 internal link. You know, who says it has to be 2?
Okay, I agree with that. Yeah.
So you know, if you've got the same fucking that's a footprint too. You know, so for me that just looks fucking ropey as fuck. So you know, there's just certain pages where you maybe just have 1 internal link. Chris, you know, who the fuck says it has to be 2? Like that's very rigid, very structured. And I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do, but you know, if I'm in Google shoes, I see what your fucking ass is doing at that point, and you know, the job here is not to fucking leave that footprint, if you get what I mean. So that's where.
But no matter what, there's at least 1 though.
Oh yeah.
So no matter what, there's 1 keyword going back. So whether it's 2,
maybe 4 on a page. There might be 3, 4, 5, whatever. You know, it depends on the length of the article. Whatever makes sense. So, you know, I think my advice if you say to me, Craig, nah, it's you know, it's 3 on every page, I'd be like, Chris, that you know, you're going to then be adding internal links for adding internal links' sake at that point on certain pages. That's just a fucking stupid way to look at it. So bigger, longer form articles are, of course, maybe have more internal links.
But so you do have a hard and fast rule of no matter what, at least 1.
Oh yeah. That's a hard and fast rule.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
there's no trick here to this. I just like to.
Yeah. Okay, that's what we've been doing. There's no matter what, at least one.
Oh yeah.
But if there's a variation in that article, get that over. If there's a primary entity in that article, get that over.
Yeah.
Make sure these things, if you see them and they come up, those need to be internally linked over to the primary page. Yeah.
If it makes sense to do it and the opportunities there, what I'd advise people not to do is just don't internally link for the sheer hell of fucking doing it because someone set some fucking stupid figure and there has to be 4 a page, that's the magic number or whatever. I think that's when it starts becoming a bit of a nonsense.
Insanity. Yes.
So yeah, that is
Fair
it.
enough.
But yeah.
Okay.
You looked at me as if I had 2 heads there, Chris.
I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, wow, that's spammy. Like, I always make sure I'm internally linking. That's why I was like, wait.
Listen, internal linking is a big thing. But yeah.
Like, I go out of my way to make sure the stuff is like connecting to stuff that it needs to point at, And like, okay, the primary page has the most internal links pointing to it, like no matter what, like anal about it almost in for some of the clients. Okay, fair enough.
Dean was at SEO Underground and he spoke to you at the bar, Chris.
SEO Underground. Okay. And then I read in there too. I mentioned that he didn't see it. That's why I didn't remember. I told him he did not look like St. Pierre. That's probably why it didn't register. I talked to a lot of people there. I probably talked to 40 dudes there. That was a good show. I enjoyed that actually. Small, tight, had the ride over and with Simon and they were like have cool cars over there, you guys. It was cool. Yep. I like that.
Dean has a question. He's seen a guest post today on a very niche topic site, Glasgow to Texas HVAC. It is linked to the GBP post URL that brings up the overlay in Google of the GBP posts. Have you seen any benefits to this?
Building a link to the post pop out. Yeah. Product pop outs, the post pop out. Very, very common in when sending links over. Yes, definitely. Now, guest posts, would I allocate $20 plus to building those types of links? Not so much. I much prefer the $3 and $4 niche edit type links for those types of things. Because again, we're pointing it at Google essentially. But yeah, I've seen that numerous times. I should say I've done that numerous times. I don't go looking at anyone else. I just know, okay, we're going to build links here. We're going to build links here. Very common. Very, very common.
Dean says you look nervous at the bar, but he's a nice guy. Dean is a nice guy. He looks crazy, but he's actually a really nice guy. Yes. Lovely big guy. But yeah, he's got the build, the physique, and he doesn't go to the gym allegedly, so he's just a naturally big, strong bastard, which that's scary in itself. So, but nice guy. So there you go. Is Moz accurate? Says Darren Muzzy. Like worth looking at?
Maybe it's not on my. I don't. It's not on my toolbar. I'm Majestic, Ahrefs, SEMrush. SEMrush is the primary. Ahrefs only because people that I work with insist on Ahrefs. So I have to utilize it because that's what they look at, and it's just a pain in my butt, but I do it. And then Majestic is just for me for buying links. Moz just doesn't show up. I'm not going to give them $100. It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah. It definitely isn't. Darren, save your money. That's all I would say. Save
Yeah.
your money.
Go see Flickover. You can use it. Try it out. I used to like their little keyword tool they had. That was cool. I like the layout of it. But SEMrush in the last few years, I'm really enjoying SEMrush. You know, and I'm not on the squad anymore. I just like them.
Yeah. But any last questions? We have 2 seconds to go. Is there any churn and burn SEO course? Have you seen a churn and burn SEO course, Chris?
No, because it probably was popular and then lost popularity.
Yeah, I've not seen anything.
Churn and burn. Yeah, if you didn't get that, yeah, I'm not too good with jokes, I guess. I tried.
But nah, a lot of people are in certain niches where churn and burn's still a big thing. And yeah, I don't know who's doing courses on it, but it is what it is, dude. Black hat course, just go for it, all out.
I don't. Who's pumped? I have yet to see a true. Nobody's gonna build an effective black hat course. I just can't see somebody doing that.
No, they won't. I mean, you know, if you asked me to do it just now, I need to be careful what I let out. You know, that's the main thing. I can give you old shit that worked, that's been exploited, but you know, no one's going to offer up the good stuff.
Or stuff that you know changes fast. Like there's certain little black hat stuff that, like, you know, hey, I figured it out, get it right now, you know. But
yeah,
something that's consistently making someone money, is somebody going to put that into a training to make a couple grand? No way. I don't see that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, any new niche edit sources providers that you recommend? No. We are testing out a new service though. The problem is efficiency in laying the links, getting them for an affordable cost in order to be able to give them to a customer at an affordable cost, a really good product for a good price. That they have down pat. The problem is efficiency. You know, I run into that with some services myself, and that's a problem. Like, you can't run a business that way. So it's, I guess the provider has some new process, so we're testing it out now, but it's been 3 weeks. So as soon as they get that down, you'll be on. I'll have as many as you want. Yes. Endless supply.
Yes.
Yep. And then once I see where they're at and see how they're getting them, then we can have another talk.
Last one. Asif Ahmed. Should all my keywords in a topic cluster contain a common seed keywords?
Should all of my keywords in a topic cluster contain a common seed word? So you mean, should my top level page be a primary page? Like, should I have a primary page that's going to house and internally link to all of the other secondary keywords that are in the cluster? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you should. Yes. Why not? If I'm understanding it how you are, you know, I've noticed that when dealing with people with certain services, their definitions and what they want to see is different than my definition of what I want to see. So being able to convert to what the customer is seeing and thinking they see, very tricky. So you're saying keywords in a cluster contain a common seed keyword. Well, what to you is a seed keyword and what to you is a cluster? You know, because to me, I'm just thinking, okay, top level page, and then I have supporting articles. That to me, okay, that's the cluster. But that might be different to you. So I hope we're seeing things on the same page here. That's all. Have you noticed that? I know you were doing, I know not so much, that's not your thing now, but have you noticed that with not clients, especially newer clients, like we'll just take guest post, for instance. They think a guest post is this, a banner an advertisement for their site. To me, a guest post is a link that contains a link back to your site.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a common one I see. A link is not an advertisement. It's a link.
Yeah.
Right. Did you run across that a lot?
Good. Clients always just need educated. What they perceive something to be could be wildly different from you, and what you're looking to do. And this is where it gets dangerous when you deal with clients and the client has a little bit of knowledge of something, or they heard someone else say this is what a guest post is, and then you start arguing it, and before you know it, all you're doing is fucking arguing with that client. And I think it's a little bit of knowledge can be dangerous, and different interpretations of what things are. It just gets fucking messy. So
it's best just
to
to
for
say,
me, I guess post a fucking link. End of story. Like, I don't really give a fuck about that website. It's the link equity, and you power that bad boy up because it's a fucking fresh post on that website. So the UR is low. So again, you need to give that some juice to pump it up, and that's it. It is what it is. Call a spade a spade. Don't think it's something else. But hey,
fair enough.
These things, yeah.
Would you power up each of the pages inside of say you had a website that was only allocated to backlinks, right?
Yeah.
You're producing quite a bit of content that isn't backlink related, external backlink related, just in order to bulk it up, right? But would you allocate extra links to each of those pages? And if you did, could I use the same? Would that tie it in via footprint? You know what I'm saying? Like what?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't allocate, one, it's budget and resource to every single page. If you, again, I think if you're starting to do that to every single page,
madness.
It's a bit of a footprint and costly and stuff like that. I think Google will be able to see, there's 5 niche that's going to all 200 URLs that are on his website. What the fuck's going on? Fuck this guy and pull the plug. So again, I think you need to, you want to use your internal links to pass some of the power around to certain things on there and do it the natural way. I think that's just a bit too much.
Yeah, that's.
But you can take more risk if it's just a link only website, like you say. How hard can you push that shit and until it burns? As long as it's not your main website, then try these things, see how far you can push it.
Push it up, yeah.
I mean, the reality is, Chris, a lot of these guest post websites out there, or PBN or whatever you want to call it, when someone that you buys a guest post in it is getting fucking pumped. So every post on there probably is getting pumped anyway. So it is happening, kind of. So yeah.
So let it natural is probably the way.
Yeah.
If they feed the. Yeah, I've noticed that on a couple. Because then you go and you look and you're like, wait a minute, this page has 415 referring domains pointing to it. How did they get here? Yeah.
Google just naturally assigns that for good content, apparently. So
great content.
Yeah.
You're funny.
Helpful content, whatever they're calling it. But on that note, guys, we are out of time. Thank you very much for all the questions. Darren Muzzy says, see you at the weekend in Vegas. Just kidding. Have fun and relax. Chris, see you tomorrow. And Searcheroo for niche edits, says Dean. Nerdy Romero, thanks, gents. But do check out Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube, on Google, on whatever, and check him out as well. And finally, do check out Randy Roday, Digital Market for press releases. The link is below. And we'll catch you at the same time next week, folks.
See you next week.